Welcome to our channel HD Rare Coin 111, your go-to spot for uncovering the incredible world of rare US coins. If you've ever wondered if your old pennies, nickels, or dimes are worth more than face value, you're about to find out. In today's video, we'll be exploring some truly rare coins and their shocking values. And if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. So let's jump in. Top 1. The story of the United States Washington quarter dollar from the year 1966 is one that continues to fascinate coin collectors and history enthusiasts alike. It is more than just a small piece of metal used for transactions. It is a reflection of American history, artistry, and hidden treasure. Many people may look at it as just an ordinary quarter, but when examined closely, the 1966 quarter reveals secrets that make it one of the most thrilling coins in numismatic history. When we talk about this coin, we must first remember the historical background in which it was struck. The mid-1960s was a time of great change in American coinage. Just 1 year earlier, in 1965, the United States Mint had ended the long tradition of using 90% silver in quarters. Rising silver prices had forced the Mint to create a new composition, which was a copper-nickel-clad coin that replaced the silver version. The 1966 Washington quarter stands right in the middle of this historic transition. Because of this sudden change in composition, the quarters of 1966 often carried a sense of mystery. Collectors were unsure of what to expect, and many hoarded them just in case some unusual varieties appeared. This created a special demand, and over time, certain rare surviving examples gained astonishing value. The obverse of the 1966 Washington quarter features the timeless portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan in 1932. His noble profile faces left, with the word Liberty above and the motto "I in God We Trust" carefully engraved beside him. The date 1966 rests just below the bust, making this coin instantly recognizable. Even though this design remained consistent for decades, the year 1966 carries a special charm due to its unique place in history. On the reverse side of the coin, an American bald eagle proudly spreads its wings, clutching arrows of defense and an olive branch of peace. This powerful image symbolizes the strength and balance of the nation, combining military readiness with a deep desire for peace. Surrounding the eagle are the words United States of America and quarter dollar, with the famous motto E pluribus unum just above the eagle's head point. One of the fascinating things about the 1966 quarter is that it was struck during a period when the United States Mint made an unusual decision. In both 1965 and 1966, no mint marks were placed on quarters, regardless of whether they were made in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. This means that all 1966 quarters appear identical in terms of mint mark, leaving collectors to wonder where exactly their coin came from. This lack of mint marks adds to the mystique of the 1966 quarter. For collectors, it creates an extra layer of curiosity, as each coin holds the possibility of being linked to a particular mint without ever revealing its origin on the surface. It's almost like a secret hidden inside an everyday coin. Now, what truly excites collectors are the varieties and rare conditions in which these coins are sometimes found. Some 1966 quarters display special errors, such as doubled dies, off-center strikes, or even unusual planchet mistakes. These errors can transform an ordinary coin into a numismatic prize worth thousands of dollars. Another critical factor is the condition of the coin. Most quarters from 1966 were heavily circulated, passing from hand to hand for decades. Finding one in pristine condition, with sharp details and brilliant luster, is incredibly rare. High-grade examples, especially those graded by professional services, command astonishing prices at auction. Collectors also love proof-like examples of the 1966 quarter. Although the government did not officially produce proof coins for circulation during that year, some specially struck coins with mirror-like surfaces have surfaced. These are among the most coveted, as they display both history and beauty in a single coin. As the years have passed, the value of rare 1966 quarters has only increased. Coin enthusiasts all around the world search tirelessly for these special examples. Whether tucked away in a forgotten coin jar, hidden in an attic, or still circulating unknowingly in pocket change, the 1966 quarter has the potential to surprise anyone who stumbles upon it. The thrill of finding one is unlike anything else. Imagine holding a coin that millions of people once ignored, only to discover that it carries the potential to change someone's life. That is the magic of numismatics, and the 1966 quarter embodies this excitement perfectly. When studying the details of this coin, collectors often look closely at the edge. Since the coin is clad, it reveals a copper core sandwiched between nickel layers. This two-toned edge is one of the defining features of the modern quarter, but it was still quite new and unusual back in 1966. This change from silver to clad gave the quarter a distinctive identity that continues to this day. But beyond its composition, the emotional value of the 1966 quarter cannot be underestimated. It was minted during a time of cultural and political transformation in America, a period when the country was shifting both socially and economically. Owning one of these coins connects collectors directly to that chapter of American history. One reason the 1966 quarter fascinates so many is the possibility of owning something extremely valuable, while it still appears ordinary. This coin might rest quietly in a drawer or sit unnoticed in a collection, until a trained eye realizes that it is a gem worth a fortune. There are countless stories of collectors who stumbled upon rare 1966 quarters, only to discover their incredible worth later on. Auctions have revealed time and again that people are willing to pay immense amounts for the finest examples. This has only increased the allure of searching for the perfect 1966 quarter. It is important to note that not every 1966 quarter is valuable. Most are worth only their face value, but those with rare qualities, perfect condition, or striking errors rise above the rest. These are the coins that make collectors' hearts race with excitement. The key to finding a treasure among 1966 quarters is knowledge and careful observation. A magnifying glass, a good light, and patience can uncover details that others might miss. For true enthusiasts, the hunt itself is as thrilling as the discovery. Every collector knows that the joy of numismatics is not just in the value, but in the story behind each coin. And the 1966 Washington quarter tells a story of change, resilience, and hidden potential. It represents both the end of an era and the beginning of a new one in American coinage. Think about how many hands this coin may have passed through over nearly 6 decades. From shopkeepers to students, from soldiers to families, the 1966 quarter has lived many lives. Each coin carries with it untold stories of the past. This idea adds another layer of wonder for collectors. It's not just about the material worth, it's also about holding a piece of history that has witnessed countless everyday moments. The thrill of collecting is knowing that something as small as a coin can carry both great historical meaning and great financial value. The 1966 quarter proves this beyond a doubt. For those who are lucky enough to find one of the rare and pristine examples, the reward can be life-changing. Auctions have shown remarkable results, surprising even seasoned collectors with how much people are willing to pay for perfection. The market for rare coins has never been stronger, and coins like the 1966 Washington quarter remain at the center of attention. Its story of transition, its rarity and high grade, and its captivating design all combine to make it a collector's dream. So the next time you come across an old quarter, do not dismiss it too quickly. That 1966 coin in your pocket could very well be a treasure hiding in plain sight. It is always worth taking a closer look, because the world of numismatics rewards those with sharp eyes and curious minds. This is what makes coin collecting so exciting. You never know when the next discovery will appear, and it could come from the most unexpected place. The 1966 Washington quarter dollar is proof that not all treasures are locked away in vaults or museums. Some treasures are waiting quietly in everyday life, ready to be discovered by someone who knows their true worth. And that is why collectors continue to search, examine, and treasure these coins. Because behind an ordinary appearance, the 1966 quarter holds the potential for something extraordinary. In the world of coin collecting, very few things can compare to the excitement of realizing that an everyday quarter could be worth a staggering amount of money. That is the lasting power of the 1966 Washington quarter, and for the most extraordinary examples of this coin, their value has reached an incredible $180,000. Top 2. The United States Washington Quarter Dollar from 1967 is one of those coins that has captured the imagination of collectors for decades. At first glance, it might appear to be just another piece of change, but when you dig deeper into its history, you discover why it continues to be one of the most fascinating coins of its time. This particular quarter was minted during a period of great transformation in American coinage. Just 2 years earlier, in 1965, the nation had removed silver from its quarters due to rising costs, introducing instead the copper-nickel clad composition. By 1967, this new style had become the standard, yet the coins of that year still carried a sense of transition and experimentation, making them highly intriguing. The 1967 quarter was produced without any mint mark, just as in 1965 and 1966. This was part of the mint's efforts to discourage coin hoarding, which had become a major issue when people rushed to save older silver coins. As a result, every 1967 quarter looks the same in terms of location of minting, creating an extra layer of mystery for collectors who wonder which facility struck their coin. On the obverse of the coin, we find the familiar portrait of George Washington, sculpted by John Flanagan. His profile is bold, strong, and instantly recognizable, with the word Liberty above his head and the motto I in God We Trust placed delicately to the left. The date 1967 stands proudly at the bottom, marking its place in numismatic history. The reverse design is equally iconic. An American bald eagle spreads its wings wide, perched on a bundle of arrows as a symbol of defense, while beneath the eagle rests an olive branch representing peace. Around the design, United States of America and quarter dollar form a circular frame, with the motto E Pluribus Unum reminding us of unity in diversity. Collectors love the 1967 quarter not just for its classic design, but for the unique period it represents. America was in the middle of a cultural shift, and coinage reflected the new reality of a post-silver era. The copper-nickel clad coins were lighter in value but still heavy in historical meaning. The sheer number of 1,967 quarters minted was massive, as the government wanted to ensure there were enough coins in circulation. However, not all coins were struck equally. Some left the mint with unusual errors, and those rare variations are now worth far more than their face value. One of the most exciting varieties from 1967 is the doubled die. These errors, caused by slight misalignments during the minting process, create a doubling effect on certain letters or numbers. For the trained eye, spotting such details can be like uncovering hidden treasure. There are also 1967 quarters with off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and other striking mistakes. These errors are highly collectible, as they showcase the human and mechanical imperfections of the minting process, turning a common coin into a unique artifact. But condition is equally important. Most 1967 quarters circulated heavily in daily commerce, which means they often show significant wear. To find one in uncirculated or mint state condition is truly rare, and these pristine examples are the ones that can command incredible value at auction. Collectors and grading services often search for quarters with full luster, sharp details, and minimal marks. When a 1967 quarter meets these conditions, it instantly rises above the ordinary and becomes a prized possession. Another fascinating aspect of the 1967 quarter is the existence of special mint sets. Since no proof coins were officially released that year, the mint instead produced special sets with higher quality strikes. These coins, often with sharper details and smoother finishes, are particularly sought after by collectors. The appeal of the 1967 quarter lies in its unpredictability. Most people see it as just another old coin, but every once in a while, a collector or lucky finder discovers an exceptional example that completely changes the way the coin is viewed. The thrill of holding a rare 1967 quarter in your hands is beyond description. It's not just about the monetary value, it's about holding a piece of history, a fragment of a time when America's coinage was undergoing major changes. For many enthusiasts, searching through rolls of quarters or inherited collections is like a treasure hunt. Each 1967 coin examined carries the hope that it might be the rare one worth an extraordinary sum. The market for rare coins has shown time and again that people are willing to pay top dollar for perfection. A coin that may have once been dismissed as ordinary can, under the right circumstances, become a gem in the numismatic world. Collectors appreciate how the 1967 quarter bridges the gap between old traditions and modern coinage. It is both familiar and unique, common in circulation but rare in top condition, ordinary in appearance but extraordinary in potential. Imagine how many of these coins passed through the hands of countless Americans over the decades. From buying a soda to paying for gas, the 1967 quarter played its role in daily life, carrying silent stories of the past. This is why numismatics is so powerful. It transforms a simple object into something rich with history, meaning, and potential value. The 1967 quarter may be small, but it represents an entire chapter of American life. Over the years, the fascination with this coin has only grown stronger. Auction records continue to show how rare, high quality, or rare examples are capable of surprising everyone with astonishing prices. For collectors, it's not just about owning the coin, it's about the hunt, the story, and the thrill of discovery. The 1967 quarter embodies all these elements perfectly. Every coin tells a story, but the 1967 Washington quarter tells one of transition, mystery, and hidden worth. It stands as proof that even the most common-looking coin can hold extraordinary secrets. So the next time you come across an old quarter, pause and look closer. That coin might just be from 1967, and if it is, it could be worth far more than you ever imagined. The lessons of coin collecting remind us to value the small things, to pay attention to details, and to appreciate history in the palm of our hand. And when it comes to the 1967 Washington quarter, the rewards for paying attention can be truly life-changing. For the most extraordinary examples of this coin, collectors have paid as much as $174,000. Top 3. The United States Washington quarter dollar from 1971 is one of those fascinating coins that hides its true importance behind a very ordinary appearance. To many people it looks like just another quarter, but collectors know that this particular year holds a story worth telling, and in some rare cases, a value worth dreaming about. By 1971, the Washington quarter had already been a part of American coinage for nearly 40 years. Originally introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, the design by John Flanagan had become one of the most familiar faces in every pocket across the country. The 1971 quarter continued to feature Washington's profile on the obverse, a strong and noble portrait of the nation's first president. Above his head rests the word liberty, while to the left we see the famous motto, "In God we trust." The date 1971 sits boldly below, marking the coin's place in history. On the reverse, the imagery remains powerful and symbolic. An American bald eagle with wings spread wide rests on a bundle of arrows, a reminder of the country's strength and defense. Beneath the eagle lies an olive branch, symbolizing peace. Around the edge are the words United States of America and quarter dollar, with E pluribus unum placed just above the eagle's head. The composition of the 1971 quarter was the now standard copper nickel-clad design. Silver had been removed from the quarter in 1965, and by 1971, the new clad coinage had become the everyday standard. Still, many collectors continued to search through their change, hoping to find unusual varieties and rare examples from this period. One of the things that makes the 1971 quarter especially interesting is the presence of mintmarks. Unlike the coins of 1965 through 1967, mintmarks had returned to U.S. coinage by 1968. This means that a 1971 quarter could carry a D for Denver or no mintmark at all for Philadelphia, giving collectors something extra to examine when studying the coin. But what really excites collectors are the rare errors and special conditions that can turn an ordinary 1971 quarter into something extraordinary. Some examples from this year show doubled dies, where parts of the lettering or design appear doubled due to misalignment during the minting process. These errors are highly sought after by numismatists. Other rare varieties include off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and coins struck on the wrong planchet altogether. Imagine finding a 1971 quarter that was accidentally struck on a dime, or a foreign coin blank. Such errors are spectacular finds and can bring incredible value at auction. Condition is another factor that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. Most 1971 quarters spent decades in circulation, suffering scratches, nicks, and heavy wear. But when a pristine example is discovered in mint state condition, its value increases dramatically. Collectors prize those coins with sharp details, bright luster, and virtually no imperfections. High-grade coins certified by professional grading services often command the highest prices. The difference between a circulated 1971 quarter and a gem uncirculated example can be astonishing. This is what fuels the passion of collectors who spend hours searching through rolls and collections in the hope of finding perfection. The 1971 quarter also has a special place in the hearts of those who lived through the early 70s. It was a time of cultural change, political challenges, and economic transformation. Holding one of these coins connects collectors directly to that moment in American history, giving it not just monetary value, but also emotional significance. Collectors often remind us that coins are more than just money. They are miniature works of art that carry the story of a nation. The 1971 Washington quarter embodies this truth perfectly. Its design, its history, and its potential for rarity all combine to make it a piece worth treasuring. For many, the hunt for a valuable 1971 quarter begins with simple curiosity. A person might pull an old coin from a jar or find one in pocket change, only to discover upon closer inspection that it is something far more special than expected. That sense of discovery is one of the joys of numismatics. The stories of lucky finds are endless. People who set aside coins decades ago sometimes return to them and realize they hold hidden treasure. Others stumble across unusual errors that went unnoticed by millions of hands before them. Each story adds to the excitement surrounding the 1971 quarter. Even though millions were minted, it is precisely this abundance that makes the rare examples so thrilling. Out of countless coins, only a few survive in extraordinary condition or with dramatic errors. Those are the ones collectors chase with such determination. It's important to remember that not every 1971 quarter carries special value. Most are worth only their face value of 25 cents. But the possibility that one could be worth thousands, or even more, is what keeps the search alive. The patience required for coin collecting pays off when a gem is finally discovered. For the true enthusiast, the journey of learning, searching, and uncovering hidden details is just as rewarding as the financial payoff. The artistry of John Flanagan design also deserves appreciation. His portrait of Washington and the eagle on the reverse have stood the test of time, remaining iconic for generations. The 1971 quarter continues to showcase that artistry, reminding us of the enduring beauty of American coinage. Every coin is a time capsule, carrying with it the echoes of the year it was minted. The 1971 quarter reminds us of a period filled with change and resilience, when America was forging ahead into a new decade. Collectors love the feeling of holding history in their hands, and the 1971 quarter offers exactly that. It may be small, but it represents a large chapter in the story of American currency. The hunt for valuable coins often begins with something ordinary. The 1971 quarter is a perfect example of how an everyday object can reveal extraordinary value when viewed through the lens of numismatics. For those who dedicate time to studying and collecting, the rewards can be breathtaking. A coin that once jingled unnoticed in pockets can later become a star attraction in an auction room. The market for rare coins continues to grow, and the 1971 quarter remains an exciting piece in that world. Its combination of history, design, and potential rarity ensures that it will never be overlooked by serious collectors. Each new discovery fuels the passion of the community, reminding everyone that treasures can still be found in the most unexpected places. The 1971 quarter proves that even modern coins have the power to surprise. Imagine pulling one from an old drawer, taking a closer look, and realizing that what you thought was ordinary could be worth a fortune. That moment of discovery is the essence of coin collecting. The Washington quarter from 1971 is more than just currency. It is a reminder of history, a work of art, and for some lucky individuals, a gateway to extraordinary wealth. And in the rarest and finest conditions, this coin has achieved auction prices as high as $146,000. Top 4. The Washington Quarter Dollar from 1988 may seem like an ordinary coin that you could easily find in your change jar, but for collectors and enthusiasts, this piece carries a story far richer than its face value of just 25 cents. It is one of those coins that blends history, artistry, and hidden potential into a single small treasure. By 1988, the Washington Quarter had already been in circulation for more than 5 decades. First struck in 1932 to commemorate the bicentennial of George Washington's birth, the design by John Flanagan had become a beloved part of American currency. Despite the many years that had passed, the image of Washington on the quarter remained timeless and iconic. The obverse of the 1988 quarter presents Washington's bold profile, facing left with the word Liberty stretched across the top. The motto "I in God We Trust" sits firmly beside him, while the date 1988 rests beneath the portrait. It is a design so familiar that it feels like a permanent part of American life. The reverse design also continued the proud tradition. An American bald eagle spreads its wings wide, perched upon a bundle of arrows, symbolizing strength and defense. Below, an olive branch serves as a reminder of peace, while the inscriptions United States of America and Quarter Dollar circle the design. The national motto E Pluribus Unum appears just above the eagle's head, uniting the imagery with powerful meaning. The coin was struck in a copper-nickel-clad composition, as silver had long been removed from quarters after 1964. By the late 1980s, collectors were well aware of this change, but the excitement came from the unique varieties and pristine conditions that could make certain coins stand out from the millions produced. Mint marks add another layer of intrigue to the 1988 quarter. Coins struck at Philadelphia carry no mint mark, while those from Denver bear a small D on the obverse, just beside Washington's ponytail. Collectors enjoy comparing coins from each mint to see subtle differences in strike quality and condition. The San Francisco Mint also produced proof versions in 1988, specially struck for collectors. These proof coins, with their mirror-like fields and frosted details, stand apart from regular circulation strikes and remain highly desirable today. Errors are another aspect that makes the 1988 quarter fascinating. Some coins from that year display doubled dies, where letters or numbers appear doubled under magnification. Others were struck slightly off-center or on planchets intended for other coins. These errors transform an ordinary piece into a rarity that collectors eagerly seek. High-grade examples of the 1988 quarter are also treasures. Since most quarters from this year circulated heavily, finding one in mint state condition with full luster and sharp detail is far more difficult than many people realize. Coins graded at the highest levels by professional services often sell for extraordinary amounts. The thrill of searching for such coins is what makes numismatics so addictive. Many collectors spend hours combing through rolls of quarters, always hoping to discover that rare example in brilliant condition. For them, the 1988 quarter represents both a challenge and a potential prize. Beyond condition and errors, the coin also carries cultural meaning. In 1988, America was nearing the end of the decade known for rapid economic change, technological growth, and shifting culture. Every coin from that year reflects the spirit of the late 80s, making it a small historical artifact of its own time. One of the most appealing aspects of collecting the 1988 quarter is the idea that something so ordinary can suddenly become extraordinary. Imagine discovering that a coin you've overlooked for years could actually be worth a small fortune in the right condition. That possibility is what keeps collectors searching. The stories of lucky finds are numerous. People have stumbled upon rare mint errors in pocket change, or pulled near-perfect quarters from rolls at the bank. Each discovery fuels the excitement and adds to the legacy of this coin. While millions of 1988 quarters were minted, only a handful survive in the highest quality, or with spectacular errors. These are the pieces that command attention at auctions and make collectors' hearts race. It's important to remember that not every coin is valuable, but the hunt for those special ones is what gives coin collecting its magic. The 1988 quarter embodies this perfectly, balancing common availability with hidden potential. When held in the hand, the coin feels solid and ordinary, yet the stories behind it elevate it to something far greater. This duality is what makes coin collecting such a rewarding passion. The artistry of Flanagan design also deserves admiration. Even after more than half a century of use, the portrait of Washington and the majestic eagle remain symbols of strength, tradition, and pride in American coinage. For collectors, the 1988 quarter is not just about the design or the metal, it's about connecting with history. Every coin tells a story, and this one whispers tales of an era that shaped modern America. The value of such coins lies not only in their rarity, but also in the thrill of discovery. The idea that treasure can still be found in something as common as pocket change is what drives the hobby forward. As time passes, pristine examples of the 1988 quarter only become scarcer. Coins wear down, are lost, or are forgotten, which makes those that remain in top condition even more precious. Auction results have proven that collectors are willing to pay astounding amounts for these rarities. A coin once used to buy a soda or ride the bus can, in exceptional circumstances, sell for thousands of dollars or more. The beauty of coin collecting lies in these unexpected stories. The 1988 quarter teaches us that history and value can hide in plain sight, waiting for someone with knowledge and patience to uncover them. Collectors around the world cherish the thrill of holding history in their hands, and the 1988 quarter is a perfect reminder of why the hobby continues to grow. Every search through a handful of change holds the promise of discovery. And with the 1988 quarter, that promise has often turned into reality for lucky individuals. The market for coins continues to reward those who pay attention to details, and the 1988 quarter proves that even modern coins can carry remarkable worth. So the next time you come across a quarter from 1988, don't be too quick to dismiss it. Look closely, study the details, and you might just uncover something extraordinary. Because behind the ordinary face of George Washington and the eagle, the 1988 quarter carries a potential value that has surprised many. And in the rarest, finest, and most exceptional examples, this coin has reached an astonishing worth of $98,000. Top 5. The Washington quarter dollar from 1990 is one of those coins that continues to capture the imagination of collectors and treasure hunters across the country. At first glance, it may seem like just another piece of everyday change, but hidden within its history and rare varieties is a story worth far more than 25 cents. By 1990, the Washington quarter had already been in circulation for nearly 6 decades. First introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, the design by John Flanagan had become a classic fixture in American coinage. For generations, Americans had grown used to seeing Washington's strong profile on the obverse of their quarters. The obverse of the 1990 quarter is instantly familiar. Washington's portrait faces left, his profile firm and commanding, with the word Liberty arched across the top. The phrase "I in God we trust" rests to the left of the portrait, while the date 1990 is engraved boldly below. This design, simple yet powerful, connects every 1990 quarter to a long tradition in U.S. currency. On the reverse, the iconic bald eagle spreads its wings wide, resting on a bundle of arrows as a symbol of readiness and defense. Below the eagle, an olive branch represents the nation's desire for peace. Surrounding the image are the inscriptions United States of America and quarter dollar, with the motto E Pluribus Unum just above the eagle's head. The 1990 quarter, like all quarters after 1965, was made of copper nickel clad rather than silver. By then, the clad composition was long accepted, but collectors still looked for exceptional coins with brilliant luster or unusual minting errors that could make them stand out. Mint marks add another layer of intrigue to the 1990 quarter. Coins struck in Philadelphia carry no mint mark, while those from Denver have a small D placed just beside Washington's ponytail. San Francisco, on the other hand, struck proof versions for collectors, carrying the distinguished S mint mark. Each variety offers something unique to the world of coin collecting. The proof versions, in particular, hold a special allure. These coins were made with mirror-like fields and frosted details, specifically designed for collectors rather than circulation. A 1990 proof quarter in pristine condition can shine like a miniature piece of art. But what truly drives collectors' excitement are the rare minting errors and special conditions that appear on some 1990 quarters. There are reports of doubled dies, where parts of the lettering or numbers appear doubled under magnification. These are among the most coveted varieties, as they showcase a unique flaw in the minting process. Off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and even coins struck on the wrong blanks also exist. Each of these errors transforms a simple quarter into something extraordinary. Collectors are always on the lookout for these unusual pieces, as their value can be many times greater than a regular coin. Condition plays an enormous role in determining the worth of the 1990 quarter. Most coins circulated heavily, showing the usual nicks, scratches, and wear from daily use. But finding one in mint-state condition, with sharp details and full original luster, is far more difficult than most people realize. High-grade coins certified by professional grading services often command the highest prices at auction. A coin that looks ordinary to the untrained eye can turn out to be a gem when carefully examined under magnification. For collectors, the thrill lies in the hunt. Searching through rolls of quarters or old collections always carries the possibility of finding that perfect 1990 coin. It's a game of patience, knowledge, and luck that has fascinated generations of coin enthusiasts. The 1990 quarter also holds a place in cultural memory. It was the final decade of the Cold War, a time of major global changes. Every coin from that year serves as a small time capsule of American life, carrying with it the history of the late 20th century. When collectors hold a 1990 quarter, they are not only looking at metal and design, they are holding a piece of history. This connection to the past gives the coin emotional value beyond its monetary worth. Stories of incredible finds continue to inspire. People have discovered rare 1990 quarters in old jars, tucked away in collections, or even still in circulation. Each discovery adds to the coin's mystique and fuels the passion of collectors. What makes the 1990 quarter truly fascinating is that out of millions produced, only a few survive in exceptional condition or with rare errors. These are the coins that make headlines at auctions and earn a place in serious collections. Even though most 1990 quarters are only worth face value, the possibility of finding one worth thousands of dollars keeps the search alive. This hope is at the heart of what makes coin collecting so rewarding. The artistry of John Flanagan design still shines through on the 1990 quarter. His portrait of Washington is bold and timeless, while the eagle on the reverse conveys both power and peace. These elements remind us of the beauty that can be found in everyday objects. For some collectors, the joy is not just in owning the coin but in the story it tells. The 1990 quarter reflects a country in transition, standing at the edge of a new century. Every coin is a storyteller, and the 1990 quarter speaks of continuity, tradition, and hidden potential. Its ordinary appearance hides the possibility of extraordinary value. The search for rare coins teaches patience and sharpens the eye for detail. It also reminds us that treasures can be found in the most unexpected places, even in loose change. Over time, high-grade examples of the 1990 quarter have only become rarer. Coins wear down, are lost, or disappear into private collections, making the survivors even more valuable. Auction houses continue to surprise collectors with the prices these coins can fetch when they are in top condition or feature spectacular errors. The market proves again and again that people are willing to pay for rarity and perfection. For collectors, the 1990 quarter embodies the thrill of possibility. Behind every coin lies the chance of discovery, and that is what keeps the passion alive. Each time a collector examines a 1990 quarter, there is a sense of wonder. Could this be the one that turns out to be extraordinary? That feeling is priceless. The 1990 quarter dollar shows us that even modern coins can carry immense value, proving that not all treasures are locked away in museums. Some treasures are still waiting to be found. So the next time you see a 1990 Washington quarter, don't just pass it by. Take a closer look, because you may be holding something far more special than you ever imagined. And in the rarest and most exceptional cases, this coin has reached a value as high as $80,000.